goodness, is that not the most rousing music? Are you all awake now at this late hour? Welcome to the California Association of Healthcare Leaders Annual Awards. We are so thrilled to have all of you here this evening, joining us for the first time ever virtually for our annual awards. So I just want to take a few minutes to welcome you all and say, thank goodness we are celebrating the achievements from 2019, because I'm not so sure there's going to be a lot to celebrate about 2020. Seriously,
yes,
though,
there will be, Kim.
Well, let me jump into that because I actually do have a few things. Seriously, though, who could have predicted that in just 1 year so much could have happened? I mean, an economic downturn, closing of restaurants. I'm in Napa, closing of wineries, for goodness sakes. Theaters, schools, we're sheltering in place and schooling our children at home. Civic unrest due to symptoms of systemic racism. This is the time to take action. And so right now I'm going to put that plug in there to go out and vote and make your voice be heard. Global warming. There was a derecho in Iowa, and if you don't know what a derecho is, it's basically a level 2 hurricane inland. Wildfires up and down the west coast with smoke following air currents and reaching all the way to the east coast. The deaths of remarkable individuals who have given their lives to making this world a better place. Most notably, John Lewis, a statesman and civil rights leader, and one of my heroes, the Honorable Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who fought for gender equality and women's rights until the day she died. And also, let's not forget our global pandemic. 202,000 deaths in the United States alone as of this morning, 979,000 deaths worldwide. This is one of those times when the US being out in front is not a good thing. We have come to realize that it is, let me try that one more time. What we have come to realize is that the important things are not things. They are people. They are our family and our friends and our coworkers. They are our communities. What we have come to realize is that when we decide what's important and make a concerted effort to address those things of importance, it can be done. What we've come to realize is that the disease doesn't discriminate, but the inequity of access to healthcare, education, employment opportunity, and basic needs creates the climate for Black, Indigenous, people of color to be disproportionately affected at a rate 2.5 times greater than non-Hispanic whites. What we've come to realize is that the great value and heroism of those deemed essentials, truck drivers, grocery store workers, postal service workers, first responders, those men and women who show up to keep this country and the world running for our benefit. And there are none more near and dear to my heart than all of you healthcare professionals, doing what you have always done, towing the line, taking care, running toward chaos, helping those in need, and serving your communities. It is to all of you that this night and celebration of contribution, spirit, and achievement are dedicated, hence the superhero themes. It's to all of you that I say, on behalf of the board of the California Association of Healthcare Leaders, thank you. Shalisha, that next slide, please. This picture was taken in a field hospital to care for COVID-19 patients. And this staff was thanking those who were supporting them. And I am thanking all of you who support the front lines. It is now my great pleasure to introduce a predominant healthcare hero who has not only been leading the way in the care of hospitals and systems, but has also been a role model for aspiring Wonder Women throughout the United States. We have none other than the incomparable Carrie Owen Pleats. We are honored to have her here tonight as our keynote speaker, as she is the incoming chairman of the Board of Governors for the American College of Healthcare Executives. We are also excited to welcome Carrie back to Northern California in her new role as the regional president for Kaiser Permanente, Northern California. At Kaiser, she will be responsible for 21 hospitals, 257 medical offices in Northern California, which is, of course, the largest nonprofit health plan serving over 4.5 million members. Carrie has a long history in Northern California. She was with Sutter Health for 16 years, most notably as the CEO of Sacramento, California-based Sutter Medical Center, the flagship hospital. In the last 5 years, she has been the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Marietta, Georgia-based Wellstar Health System, a hospital division. In her history with the California Association of Healthcare Leaders, she was the CAHL board president in 2010, the CAHL past president in 2011, ACHE regent for Northern and Central California from 2013 to 2016. If we have Wonder Woman music, we should be playing it now. So please let's welcome Carrie Owen, please.
Now, get the Samsung Galaxy S25.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I don't know what that music was.
Only at Verizon.
That's the YouTube intro.
Right? Okay, great. So
here's some Wonder Woman back there.
Well, so I heard a little bit about the theme tonight, and hopefully everybody can hear me okay. And very interesting that you were going to bring up Wonder Woman because, you know, it's superhero night, so I had to bring up the mask.
Finger claps, finger claps.
All right, so there's the first one. Second one, superhero.
That's right.
Ruthie. Yes. And then my favorite one, given to me by the physicians, was, if you can see it, some heroes wear business suits.
Love it.
Yeah, no. I am so excited to be here today and tonight. It is a little bit later on the East Coast than it is on California time. So hopefully everybody will give me a little bit of room that it is pretty late tonight and it's been a very long day. And actually, and thanks Kim for that great introduction, tomorrow is my actual official last day on site at Wellstar. So it has been a very busy week, you can just imagine. Very excited to get back out to Northern California. I see some really great people that I haven't seen in a very long time, and they all look like they have not aged. Clearly California is doing very well for all of you. So I want to make sure that I go through a little bit of what's going on at ACHE at the national level. So we're going to kind of roll through this and we'll take questions at the end if that works for everybody. So I think you can use your little chat feature and raise your hand if you have questions, and we'll go from there. So again, we're going to go through mission, vision, value, leadership, journey, mind, a little briefly on that because Kim did a great introduction, talk about today's healthcare environment, how ACHE is changing to accommodate and be there for all of you. So we've been around for 86 years, if you can imagine, helping leaders along the way. Next. All right, it's going to take a bit. All right, so we've got 48,000 members strong. Next, and thank you to all of you, CAHL being one of the largest chapters that we have. And the vision is to be the preeminent professional society for healthcare leaders dedicated to improving health. You know all of this. The mission is to advance members, our members in healthcare, and it says management excellence, but you'll probably see in the upcoming next publication, especially for those who attend chapter leaders, we've got some changes to the mission proposed, and it's really about healthcare leadership excellence. And I think you probably can all agree that it's leaders who both lead strategically as well as manage day to day. But our values have not changed: integrity, leadership, lifelong learning. But we did add a word in our values: diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah. Next. Thank you. Our goal, and we do our strategic plan look at it every 3 years. It's really to educate, engage, and inspire. And that's what all of you do all the time. And so that's why ACG is your preferred partner on this journey. So let me tell about my little ACG journey. And one of the things I heard early on from Sarah was that statistically, if you use a fake background, that people don't trust you as much. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret that I'm really at home with my kids stuff in the back. Oh, wait, no, actually I'm at the beach. Just kidding. No, I'm at home. And so we all are leaders by day and leaders by night, but mothers, parents, taking care of kids. And we have had to balance more this year than ever before. And the lines between work and the lines in for home have blurred. And so many people are working remotely. But I thought I'd be very transparent and let you into my inner circle of trust and let you see how disorganized my house is. All right, so don't judge. But I joined ACG as a student chapter in a student chapter undergraduate, and I stuck with ACG through my graduate school, being at the student chapter in grad, and then stuck with ACG all along, joining the Regents Advisory Council when I first came out to California, and then was on the inaugural CAHL board, I think with Mark, I think you were on there with us, weren't you? Yeah, I thought so. And a few others of you were on that inaugural board back in 2004. Yeah, I'm gonna date us all back then. But it's been an amazing journey. And the one thing I think we all need right now is that we want to belong, and we want to feel like we belong to something larger than ourselves. And the great thing about ACG, it's always been there for me. For my career, it has opened doors that I never thought were possible. And I've always said this, that you give a little bit to ACG of yourselves and volunteer, and you always get at least threefold back. And it has stuck with me all along, and I am completely humbled to be the incoming chair. I will be the inaugural chair, and I do a lot of firsts for some reason. I was the only Robert Hudgens winner to be 8.5 months pregnant, and I might continue to hold that one for the rest of my life. But it looks like I'm going to be the inaugural chair for the first ever virtual Congress. So very excited about that. And it also reminds me of the days when Cal was talking about what kind of website we should have. Boy, have things changed. So let's go to next. Talk about the environment we're living in. Kim, you did a beautiful job next, highlighting what we're all going through right now. And it's just hard to put into words. I think you could focus on all of the bad things of this year, and there's so many, but I think there's something different about healthcare leaders. We have to focus on the positive. Our team members expect us and look to us for direction, and they need us more now than ever to be positive, to be hopeful, to be focused forward, and be talking about all of the great things that have actually come out of this pandemic. And there are amazing things. You've seen innovation, and I've seen innovation that I have just never seen before. With people running, using pool tubes to keep, IV tubing off of the floor, just amazing things. So we've gone through a lot together, and ACG has gone through a lot, having to cancel Congress, having to shift from not doing clusters, a lot of in-person things, to make sure that we shift, like everybody else, into more of a virtual world. So let's go to next and go through the strategic plan really briefly, because we've had to shift our strategy, just like the rest of healthcare. But one thing, again, we haven't done is we continue to be a catalyst. We continue to be a catalyst. We continue to be a connector, and we continue to be a trusted partner. But how we're doing all those things have adjusted slightly. So let's go to next. So let's talk about Catalyst, Connector, and Trusted Partner. Next. So Catalyst. So we're coming up with new solutions to old problems. And all of you have done this in healthcare as well. One great example of ACHE doing this is that we embarked on our Leading for Safety initiative back in 2017, worked with the Lucian Leap Institute and the Institute for Health Improvement, which produced the safety blueprint. Now we've produced We Lead for Safety, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So next, some statistics. So hopefully many of you have participated on some of the webinars, maybe downloaded the podcast when you were out walking with your masks on in California, enjoying hopefully the weather before the fires got started, and hopefully we'll be out there walking again. But how to shift rapidly. So with 28 webinars, we had 36,000 registrants, podcast, 27,000 listens to the podcast just so far. And social media truly has blown up. But again, we're not where we need to be, so we continue to challenge ourselves. Next. And our Leading for Safety, I mentioned this earlier. So what just came out, you might have missed it in the emails or maybe in the download, but in September, we're part of the launch Safer Together, which is a national action plan to advance patient safety. It's a strategy document bringing together the collective wisdom of 27 industry organizations to give renewed momentum to safety. This couldn't be a better time. And I don't know about you, but we've all worked on reducing hospital-acquired infections. But when you see spikes of individuals who are going into the intensive care unit suffering from COVID and staying in our institutions for a much longer period of time, it's had to challenge our hardwiring of the safety initiatives we put into place. And some institutions have taken some pretty significant steps backward on CAHL and CLAPSI and sepsis, but many have taken a step forward and challenged how they took care of patients in the past. And we need to share with each other what those best practices are. This is the perfect time for ACHE to step forward in this space. Next. So if you haven't done this already, I really encourage you and your organizations to take the pledge for patient safety and commit again to leading safety within your organizations. Our patients deserve this, and we deserve this, because as we all know, all of our family members, our friends, all of us probably know somebody who has been impacted by COVID. And they're horrendous stories, but there's also stories where people have recovered. We need to keep our patients as safe as possible. Let's go to the next one. So beyond that, we're also connectors, connecting people to people and people to ideas. And the great thing that's different about this year, we've always been the great connector. But Deb Bowen, who's the CEO of ACHE, many of you know her. She is also on she's the incoming president for the International Hospital Federation. So she's bringing ACHE to a much more global footprint across the world. And what better time to be leading in this space than when we're facing an international global pandemic. So Deb is strongly leading in this space. And if anybody knows Deb, she is the perfect leader for right now. Though we need to get America doing a little bit better than what we're doing right now. But there's so many that have done great things. We also are continuing to transform the pathway for our clinical leaders. Many of our physicians and APPs are looking to how do they expand their executive skills and how do they transform. So ACHE, this is the fastest growing segment within ACHE is our physicians, and all of us know clinicians who are looking to advance but not quite sure how to have that happen. And what a great opportunity to join with ACHE in this space, connect with other physician executives and other clinicians across the spectrum to advance from aspiring to truly transformational leadership. Next. We're also developing collaborations. This has been an idea that's been out there for a very long time. There's so many different organizations that help support anesthesiologists, PAs, in their professional development. Now ACHE has partnered with ASA, which is the American Society of Anesthesiologists, the AAPA, which is American Academy of Physician Assistants, and the American Society of Health System Pharmacists. The other thing that I know, I think Kim and I talked about a very long time ago, being a registered nurse, is that in January 2020, finally, our ACHE in-person and online education offering have a joint accreditation for continuing education credit for physicians and nurses. Finally. All right, next. And I'm gonna pause here for a second because I think CAHL was out very much in front on this issue of diversity and inclusion. I believe holding the first chapter diversity and inclusion event quite a long time ago. That was Aniko Dahada, who helped support. Mark Lisa, you were there as well, and so many others. Eric, you were there. I know. It's now time to take it even further within ACHE, and I'm really excited about the work of the DE&I team to bond even more strongly with our Asian Healthcare Leaders Forum, the LGBTQ Forum, at NACI, NALI, and we also are working with a group around leadership on gender equity, and some great work to come. You'll hear about that at the chapter's leaders conference coming up. I can't steal all of its thunder, so I gotta maybe bait those who want to come and attend virtually. Next. So a couple other things. ACHE was recognized, and you should all be very proud about this, by the association, a welcoming environment for associations. We were #1 for 2019. How fantastic is that? But you know, we're not satisfied with that. And all of you have known about the Tom Dolan Diversity Program, the ACHE Diversity Forums we just talked about, the Better Together sessions that we've had at Congress, our Executive Diversity Career Navigator that was launched last year, which has been very well received. And we also continue to have the Summer Enrichment Program. But what you'll hear at Chapter Leaders and here on the Regents Call next week, actually, is that our immediate next steps as we came together as a board, actually just this past Tuesday, is to ensure we do a better job in communicating the DE&I resources that we have already within ACHE that can better serve all of you and your organizations. Review and update our ACHE Statement of Diversity. It needs a lot of work. It's okay, but it needs to be updated. So we're working on that right now too. We're also identifying any gaps of current policy statements that we have that don't effectively address diversity, inclusion, and equity. Many of our statements have diversity and inclusion, but equity is left off. And that's a critical component, as all of you will agree. And we are also looking to explore and formalize a DE&I advisory group. So think about your interest level and participation. That may be one area at a national level you might all want to participate in. So fun things to come next. All right, so you all know the Leader to Leader Rewards Program. So this is just a shout out if you want your ACHE memorabilia to do your leader connection points. Next. And we are a trusted partner. You had heard this earlier from me that ACHE has been my trusted partner all along, and it will continue to be. However, I can support those who are coming behind me and continue to connect with my sponsors and mentors along the way. For 86 years, it has been a trusted partner for career advice, for career navigation, for networking opportunities, even virtually, and obviously staying connected to education. And the world of healthcare is moving so rapidly, we have to be lifelong learners. Next. Got to do my shout out for the FACHEs. Yay. You know, here I learned something new today. Thank you. I love this. It's bringing me back to my sorority days. FACHE, many of you, some of you might actually be in this picture. And I just further encourage those FACHEs in the house to recertify. And for those of you who are considering it, didn't think they had enough time, you have enough time. And one thing I learned today is that there are 80 executive search firms who have just reported that those who hold the FACHE credential have an advantage. So why not? FACHE is the way to go. All right, so also we connect people to ideas, right? How many of you probably jumped into some of the COVID sessions along the way or connected to your peers across the country related to COVID questions? I will tell you, one of the best connection points that I had when I was sitting in the command center, this was March 7th. We had initiated our virtual command center on January 27th. But in Atlanta, we didn't get hit as fast as New York. So I was on the line with Michael Facina, who runs probably one of the hardest hit hospitals in New York. And he gave me a long litany of here are all the things that we are doing right now and that you need to be prepared for. I was on the line with Nico in Texas. All right, Texas, what's going on? How are we doing? We're talking to Washington State, just hearing from all of you. And it was ACHE and that connection that allowed it to be a quick text, pick up the phone. Otherwise, you know, that might have been slightly more difficult to have those connections. But I didn't just have people who picked up the phone. I had people sending me policies and procedures. You know, here's my visitation guidelines. We connect people, and we connect people to ideas. So take advantage of it. All right, next, virtual face-to-face. Everybody loves the virtual face-to-face. It has been wildly successful, and we will continue to have virtual face-to-face for quite a while now. And I know many of you are gonna want that virtual face-to-face to go on in perpetuity. We will see how that goes. We are gonna be getting everybody's feedback at the chapter leaders and the Regent think tanks. And I'm sure CAHL will have an opinion, as it always does. You have such a huge territory to cover, and so virtual face-to-face is really critical. But we hit burnout and resilience, strategic planning, financial management. Financial management in COVID times, a little bit different than the old school ways, right? Leadership development, population health, and the impact of COVID on disparate and socially diverse communities. Next, we also have what's called choice, which I think is something many of the systems are looking at now, especially as they're considering possibly cutbacks within their own education and org development. So this might be something to just consider. And it has been very well received. And it also offers ACHE face-to-face credits, as well as joint accreditation for physicians and PAs. So this can be programs that you develop with ACHE that's brought on site to your organization or done virtually. So it is actually kind of your, you get to pick it out. So consider it your own Uber Eats. All right, partnering strong with the chapters. I don't need to tell this group what a strong chapter looks like. It's been one of the strongest chapters ever since it started, and continues to be. And it's no doubt that it continues to hold many educational events. But what differentiates ACHEs are ACHE is the chapters. The chapters are phenomenal. They're strong. They're vibrant. They share with each other. Some are stronger than others. But it's being able to bring education that's relevant for you, relevant for your members, relevant for your community. Next. Highlighting, we're continuing to evolve our digital strategy just like everybody else. But I am excited for what's ahead, and I'm not going to steal any of the thunder from the chapter leaders in the next Regent call. So we'll keep going. This next one, for those of you who have not taken advantage of it, or for those who may be earlier in your career, mid-career, or considering maybe going into a different profession overall, many people are self-reflecting about, okay, what do I want to spend my time doing? ACHE is really the best partner to help you navigate your career. And there's a whole entire resource center about looking at your resume, doing mock interviews. What a great resource, and it's part of your membership. So how to give Career Resource Center a shout out there. All right, and then I'm gonna hit the fun for healthcare leadership. Donate now. All right, next. And I know CAHL has great corporate partners. ACHE also does too. I'll tell you, it's been a challenging time financially for many different associations. We have one of the best CFOs I've ever seen for an association. And I will tell you, Joe Pruitt, who is our CFO for ACHE, literally a month before, I think it was the end of January, had finalized the insurance program for ACHE to cover pandemics. And so we actually were able to receive insurance for the cancellation of Congress this year, which many associations are struggling right now to even survive. So huge shout out. And we could not do it without corporate partners. And I'm really proud to say many of our corporate partners are sticking with us, even though they're challenged financially as well. And I want to do a special shout out to Cerner, because Cerner has, because we offer the ability for people to reduce the amount of their contribution to ACHE, and Cerner said no. They're going to continue to support us at the full amount. And that's supporting all of you. That's not supporting ACHE corporate. That is being able to bring better programs, more virtual programs to all of you. And I'm going to conclude with the last one here, is that we're leading this together. We're leading it together, and we always have, but now more than ever, we need each other. And I had to spend a moment and just make sure. We talk a lot about clinician burnout. We talked a lot about it before COVID. The statistics before COVID were that 40% of our teams were in burnout. And that's before people move into anxiety, depression, and more serious situations, right? Now it's 60%. And that information is dated. One of the things that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is resilience for all of you, and the resilience for leaders. And I want to make sure that you take time to take care of yourself. That means giving yourself the break that you need, and recognizing you have got to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. We are here as servant leaders, and so we serve, but you cannot be a servant leader if you're not taking care of yourself. So that means getting sleep. And if you're not sleeping, tell somebody, get help, connect with a friend. You need sleep. Eat right, eat your vegetables. You know, eat those silly green drinks that maybe taste horrible, but they're good for you. Take your vitamins, right? Get out, enjoy exercise, fresh air where you can. I understand that's been very challenging for you guys. It's pouring down rain like a total monsoon here, and it's like the 15th hurricane, it feels like. So we're kind of the opposite, is I feel like I have to swim to work. Just make sure you take care of yourself. And I'm going to share a couple things. One of them is, if you, in order to reduce anxiety and stress, is to express gratitude to people. So here's my gratitude journal that I do every morning and every evening. And today it's going to be my gratitude for all of you. So do your gratitude journal as much as you possibly can. And I'm serious, I do it. I'm not just holding this up, I actually fill it out. All right. Here's another one. If you need to pick me up, It's Journey to the Heart. And I'll send this out for the group too. But it's every single day. It's just meditations for the soul. So there's the other one. And I do read it every single day. Crazy. All right. And you may not all be a fan of the Today Show, but I love my girl Hoda. So there's my other one. It's funny and it's hysterical and it cracks me up every morning. So it starts the day off with a laugh. So my last parting thought is you are all part of a much larger group of friends, colleagues who will always be here for you. Will always be here when maybe the boss didn't work out well, or maybe the job didn't work out so well, or, you know, the day's not going so well, but ACHE will always be here for you. Thank you so much for having me tonight. It's been a real pleasure. You're supposed to show your hands, right?
Here, we're going to do this. We'll do the finger claps again. Yay, Carrie. Thank you so much for that incredible presentation and your words of wisdom. And, you know, you're absolutely right on spot. As you were talking, the chat was just rolling with all of these familiar faces and names and, you know, folks coming together in community like we have done so many times. And it's really just, it just fills you up. So many people here who have been instrumental in my career and in you know, in my life as part of ACHE and CAHL. And you're one of those people. You know, I received my first executive role because of my connection with you and ACHE and CAHL. Eric Berry popped on the screen as we were talking, and as you were talking, and he's the reason that I became a part of CAHL. And of course, Mark Lisa, who has been a true friend and mentor of mine for many years. And when Eric asked me to step into the sponsorship committee role, it was incredibly easy to do because CAHL and ACHE is so beneficial. You know, you can just talk about it with passion and with truth so easily that people, they want to be a part of it and support the cause. So you did a fabulous job, you know, representing ACHE that way. And we are just thrilled to have you back. So once again, finger claps for Carrie. Awesome.
Thank you, Kim. And I know that you're going to have a fun celebration tonight. Enjoy. I'm going to go put my kids to bed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day, and good luck with your exit next week. And we can't wait to see you here again.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye, guys. See you
Bye.
soon.
See you. Okay, it's time for us to jump into the actual awards section of our ceremony this evening. I failed to run through the agenda. I don't know, Shalisha, if you can scroll back to the actual agenda. I just jumped right into the hello, how are you? Because we wanted to make sure that Carrie was able to have enough time to get her words and comments in before she had to go and be present with her children. But as you can see, we started off with the welcome, Carrie Owen Pleats. There were no questions that came through. Otherwise, we'd have plied her with questions and answers. I'm sure she would have had some fabulous answers. We're going to jump now into the year in review, and that is 2019. And then we'll go right into our Regents Awards. And then the agenda disappeared. Excuse me. And then we'll do Volunteer of the Year and our Service Awards. Thank you very much. And then we'll wrap it up right at that 7 o'clock hour. We're really looking forward to seeing folks as they receive their awards. So looking forward to that aspect as well. Also, if you could advance the slide, Salisha or Sarah, I'm not sure who's driving, to our partners. Was that before? My apologies for going out of order. I know that's, here we go. We want to extend most definitely a heartfelt thanks to all of our sponsors. These are our platinum sponsors: UCSF Healthcare, Administration and Interprofessional Leadership, Aya Healthcare, Gurdick Academy, University of Phoenix, platinum level, and you guys have been there with us and helping us continue to be able to provide great programming even in this virtual world, and we so appreciate you. Next slide, please. We also want to give a huge shout out to our in-kind sponsors. These are individual representatives from hospitals and health systems who provide rooms for us to have conferences. And when we had our face-to-face, you know, get-togethers, would sponsor with food, or, you know, generously donate time of their leadership and so on. And so we always just want to make sure that we're giving shout out to our in-kind sponsors: Sutter Health, Alameda Health System, UC Davis, huge partner there, sponsoring our CEUs for our nurses and those clinical folks. As Carrie said, it's been a goal of ours for a very long time. Adventist Health, Aramark, Gurnick Academy yet again, Kaiser Permanente, St. Joseph Health, Queen of the Valley, and El Camino Hospital. So thank you all very, very much for your generous donations in kind sponsorship. Okay, now we're going to do a rapid fire. Everybody hold on. We're going to run right into the next set of slides, so don't get sick as we speed through them. And we're going to jump right into our year in review. Okay. So as you know, the California Association of Healthcare Leaders, we serve healthcare executives throughout Northern and Central California. We cover 50 of the 58 counties of California, and it's our goal to advance excellence in healthcare leadership and improve the lives of the communities we serve. I do want to call your attention to the starred box at the bottom of the screen. That is a Chapter Merit Award, which we did receive in 2019, and that was for our goal for achieving fellows, the highest number of fellows. So we were very thrilled to be a part of that. Yes, another finger clap. We're very thrilled to be a part of receiving those Chapter Merit Awards, and in each year we strive for those goals. Unfortunately, in 2020, they are not going to measure because of the disruption of COVID. And so we will not be able to, you know, have your typical celebration, but I'm sure, true to ACHE's fashion, they will, you know, determine some mechanism for recognizing the great work that's being done out with the chapters. And you'll have to forgive me, I was a little distracted by the chat. And Darielle, absolutely thank you to Nora Powers and Mike Brokoloff for putting together all those Board of Governors exam prep sessions, and all of the people who took their BOG exam. Eric and I apologize, Andrew, Pete, and I are on the national committee for writing those exam questions, so we're trying to make them super hard, really test your muster. No, that's not true, but we enjoy participating in that. So for our year in review, recently you received an email with a link to our 2019 annual report. A huge shout out to our communications committee, including the notorious Tina Slee, who is a get us that stuff right now. So just absolutely love that she is on point and every year puts together an absolutely phenomenal report. Next slide, please. This is the presidential committee. Myself, Kim Brown Sims, is the president. Darielle Earhart is our incoming president-elect. Thank goodness Darielle is going to be stepping in soon. And then our immediate past president, none other than the amazing Andrew Pete, who we have missed this year. We haven't been able all to get together. So happy to have this team of people here leading the efforts forward, and always happy to have that camaraderie of working together to achieve our goals. Next slide, please. There is a message from us we put together, and it really is, excuse me, around addressing health disparities and how that's really our call to action here as we move forward. Next slide, please, into 2021. It's really going to be our goal and our job to really focus on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and break barriers and really create a more equitable healthcare world as we work as individuals towards creating a more equitable, just, diverse, and inclusive humankind globally. So do your part, be a leader every single day in your words and actions. Next slide, please. As you know, we have our mission, vision, and values. I'm not going to go through every one, but I will talk about our mission, and that is advancing our members by providing world-class lifelong professional growth through local educational programming, networking, and mentoring. And that is so important in this year when we couldn't come together, but we were grateful for the pivot into the virtual world. It has actually allowed us to have a greater outreach to our members. And because we cover such a large geographic space, it's been a challenge for us to create programming in geographic locations that were accessible by many of our members. Creating a virtual environment is absolutely the best way for us to open doors for people to be able to participate and get that lifelong learning that we've talked about. It helps us move forward with our goals towards individuals becoming fellows, as well as helping you professionally stay current with what's happening in healthcare and beyond. As Carrie was saying, the cutting edge, the bleeding edge of information that's coming out with ACHE providing that information. And they're a resource, they're a wealth of knowledge because they have access to so much of that information. Next slide, please. Our total membership right there at 1527, we're actually up from 2018, from the 2018 numbers. New members, 106, fellows, 260. That's the reason we won that award. 96 lifetime fellows. And Mike Ryan is in our audience today. He's been a member since 1982. His father is a lifetime fellow. And he's coming in on his 90th year of life. So huge shout out to our lifelong fellows as well. CEOs who participate within CAHL, 182. That's a great representation of CEOs who participate, which means you really are building that community with decision makers and those folks who can hire you. And you can see that we had multiple events in 2019, and 2020 is going to look a little more anemic, but again, the reality is we're able to reach more individuals because of this virtual environment. Face-to-face education sessions 11, qualified education session 6, learning from leaders 8. We're well on our way to capturing some of those same numbers in the virtual environment this year. Advancement for the Board of Governors prep session 2 and networking events 9. Next slide, please. I want to give a huge shout out to the executive board. Again, this is reflective of last year. Andrew Pete as our president, who is now our immediate past president. Toby Marsh, who was our immediate past president last year, who's gone on to do some remarkable things and was recently with the Association of California Nurse Leaders and was recently on a panel and has just done a phenomenal job in his space there at UC Davis. Melanie Totai, who's been our secretary extraordinaire for many, many years. She's stepping down out of that role today, and she's going to be sorely missed, but this year she's stepping down, and I just really want to give a shout out to her, and finger claps for Melanie as well. And Kimberly Bleachner-Jones, who's been our treasurer and keeps us on point with keeping track of those dollars. Thank you to all of you. Regents Baljit Sengha and Luis Fonseca. We have 26 different chairs and co-chairs of each of those committees. I'm not going to read through every single one of them, but I want to give you all a shout out for the excellent work that you do in continuing to help us grow and meet our mission, vision, and function with those high standards and values. So thank you to all of you. Next slide, please. We have 14 specialized committees. You can see it's a very robust board, very active board. And this year we did add a separate annual awards committee to help us focus on what was going to be our 2-day inaugural event in Monterey, California. Unfortunately, COVID had other ideas for us. So that 2-day event ended up being split into 8 different panels, many of which we are able to provide face-to-face credits for. So please check out our website if you'd like to see what those events are and when they're happening. Next slide, please. I'm going to stop for just a moment and let the gravity of the number of names on this page hit you. And the reason is that we have over 120 volunteers. So these are individuals who, outside of their day-to-day responsibilities with work and family, put their time and energy into making CAHL the great organization that it is. So I just want to again stop and say thank you so much to each and every person who volunteers their time on behalf of CAHL. Next slide, please. I also want to say we do have a good representation at the national level. So as Carrie stated, there will be additional opportunities coming forth. I like to let folks know that if you have an interest in performing, volunteering your time at the national level, to please do let me know, and we'll make sure that ACHE is aware so that when it's time for National Committee member selection, that your name is out there. And I apologize, these were the individuals who participated at the national level in 2018 going into 2019. ACHE at this moment was not able to get me the updated list in time to update this slide, but I do want to give a shout out to everyone who is participating on that level. So with that, we're going to go right into our Regents Awards, and so I'm going to turn it over to none other than the amazing Batman Baljit Sangha.
Thanks so much, Kim. Good evening, everyone. Super thrilled to be here, and in honor of that, I'm gonna change up. In the sky, we actually don't have the Batman logo, but we now have the ACHE logo. So, you know, super thrilled to be here. Super thrilled to be around everyone. It's like FaceTiming with family. So I was sitting here thinking this is not unusual by any means. So, just overall, just want to jump, right into the awards piece, but really give you some context. And overall, I'm the regent, and in that role, I am serving as like the elected representative by many of you, but more so by the entire chapter, the 1,500 folks, to really serve as the representative from our region, Northern Central California, to the legislative body of ACHE. So it's kind of similar to a senator. I'm one of 70 regents that comprise the Council of Regents, and what we do is really look at the link between ACHE and its members, looks at governance, membership regulations, promoting ACHE programs, electing the Board of Governors and the Chairman, and Chairman-elect Carrie, who we heard from earlier this evening, and also establishing a Regents Advisory Council, which is the screen in the slide right before you. Now, this is our Regents Advisory Council for 2020. And I just want to say I'm just so humbled by the profound talent and wisdom and heart we have all around us reflected in this slide. The individuals that serve on the RAC, they really truly reflect this. You'll hear from some of them in the few moments as they will be presenting some of the awards this evening. But really what the RAC does is they work with myself, and we work together to really advise ACHE on matters of policy. We work to review the interests of all ACHE members represented by the region, and then in the services and operations of our local chapter. So really the idea is to have representation and diversity with just, the diversity as we've defined it, right? Not just ethnic and cultural diversity, but in addition to that, geographical diversity, diversity of disciplines that they're working in, diversity at levels of career transition, whether it's early careers, mid-level, or senior careers. So, Sheila from UCSF, Val from Zuckerberg San Francisco General, Phil from Northern California Kaiser, Abraham from Gurnick Academy of Arts, Kelly from the Department of Veteran Affairs, Ken from Mayview Community Center, Michelle Linares over at Kaiser as well, Louisa Alameda Health System, Andrew at Sutter, Michael O'Connell for University Healthcare Alliance over at Stanford, Karen also at Sutter Foundation in San Francisco and Marin, Kim, who you've heard from our Interim Executive Leadership Consulting, and Brad from UC Davis Medical Center. So just, again, incredible amount of folks. And so with that being said, what did we do so far? We reviewed the Regents Awards, and we had an incredible amount of nominees. And just to jump into it real quick before the actual awards, to give you the criteria. Now, this year's winners, and right before us, we have the criteria. Now, this year's winners really epitomize all that makes our health profession so amazing, right? Our role is so critical to the advancement of society, not just in health and wellness and population health, but also as advocates to ensure our communities, our societies, and our worlds continue to evolve in a way that's, better than the one that we inherited, right? It's to leave it better than we found it. And what you see before you is the criteria on which our nominees were measured in what they're doing to really leave what they found, to leave it better than they found it. That includes leadership around COVID-19, leadership or an advocacy around the racial unrest and the Black Lives Matter demonstrations, leadership around innovations, living the code of ethics, really demonstrating their commitment to diversity, inclusion, equity, as defined by CAHL, which I just shared, that it wasn't just ethnic and cultural diversity, but where we are across our whole 50 county represented areas. Now, I've given everyone an impossible task to present and introduce our reward recipients in about a minute. And I know that we're going a little over, we're a little behind, but truly it's a celebration. So it's a party. And all parties, as you know, sometimes when you're having fun, you just kind of go with the flow. So with that, I know there's a lot to recognize about all our recipients. And without further ado, our first Regents Advisory Council member, who will be our first presenter, is Mr. Abraham Chichetti from Gurnik Academy of Arts.
Thank you so much, Belgi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abraham Chichetti. I'm the campus director for Gurnik Academy, and I have the distinct honor to present our first award on behalf of the Regents Advisory Council. Next slide. So Mr. Sachin, and I'll try to do my best to pronounce this, it's Gangu Pantula. Did I do a good job, Sachin? Okay. So, Sachin started his professional career in the IT industry in 1997. He quickly rose through the ranks and became well-established within the technology field for more than 20 years. Through some twists and turns, he found himself transitioned to the healthcare sector. Having lived in the Central Valley for over 18 years, Sachin and his physician wife, and I think I saw her, Sachin, is she over there somewhere? Hello. They both experienced firsthand the significant shortage and of access to inadequate care for diabetic patients. Sachin utilized his passion for healthcare by founding and directing the Valley Diabetics and Obesity Clinic in Modesto, California. The practice's focus since 2016 has been to provide care for the medically underserved region of Stanislaus County, where many patients have a limited access to specialized care for advanced diabetes, and chronic conditions. Through his leadership, the practice has been a key partner in the Stanford Medicine Project ECHO. The initiative provides education, advanced diabetes care, and support for the underserved communities through a hub and spoke model care. It is important to note that during the pandemic, Sachin led the way with pivoting the practice to 100% telehealth delivery model, where care coordination was made possible through online scheduling, Facebook messaging, which is impressive, and text. He partnered with his county, through the COVID-19 task force, according with local physicians, testing labs, and other healthcare systems to establish clinical protocols to assist patients in the community to navigate the system for protection, testing, and communicating the results across all networks. Incredible. Sachin has demonstrated tremendous leadership by joining multiple healthcare-based organizations and has volunteered hundreds of hours of his time to serve his community and others. He has served on various ACHE and CAHL committees since 2017. Such committees include the Career Development and Transition Committee and the Communication Committee. In fact, he joined as the co-chair for CAHL's inaugural Congress event, which is this evening as well. As most of you know, the live events were originally scheduled for August 2020, as Kim mentioned. After planning significant aspects of the event, the pandemic, of course, hit and created an opportunity to retool and pivot, I should say, the conference into a virtual series, 8 sessions. So he has helped tremendously and was very instrumental in this pivoting and being a resource for the board. I can definitely continue to highlight his many contributions. However, we simply don't have enough time, as Mr. Baljeet just mentioned, but instead, I just would like to extend a special heartfelt gratitude and thank you for all of your hard work, your inspiration, and giving back and being a champion for your community. Sachin, it is with great pleasure I present to you our 2020 Early Careerist Healthcare Executive Award. Congratulations, well deserved, sir.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Sachin, did you want to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you, Baljeet, Abraham, and Rak for this honor. It's definitely been a privilege to be a part of CAHL. In fact, when we started the clinic, the first thing I did was join ACHE and CAHL, and I reached out to Baljeet because I could not find any contact to work with CAHL. But you know, I'm relatively new compared to a lot of the healthcare leadership we have here, but CAHL has been a source of a lot of education and inspiration for me as we grew the practice here. And I think since this is my Oscar moment, I would definitely like to share the achievement with my physician wife. She shares a lot of the commitment that I see here. The passion for the patient care comes from her, and that's what motivates us to continue to do what we're doing. And I do want to appreciate the opportunity that CAHL provided me I'm really humbled actually to partner with a lot of the senior leadership we have here. And all I've been doing last 2 years is just returning back and helping them spread the goodness that we have in terms of education and advancement for all of our members. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yay.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Val Barnett, and I am an administrator at San Francisco General. I'm also a member of the RAC. And today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing Vaughn Williams. So Vaughn Williams is the Regional Director of Operations and Strategic Initiatives for Sutter Health. I can personally attest to the fact that Vaughn embodies ACHE's Code of Ethics through his continuous community service, one, for his hometown of New York City, and two, for the community service that he does in the Bay Area. And overall, Vaughn is just an amazing human. Vaughn currently serves as the president of the Nossi Golden State Chapter, the co-chair for the Sutter Health Diversity and Inclusion Committee for the Valley area, and continues to aid Sutter Health in determining how to best serve its diverse community. In addition, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, Vaughn has been an essential leader in Sutter Health by helping to lead surge planning and creating over 10 outdoor clinics and 4 indoor respiratory clinics. Outside of all of his hard work and accomplishments, I am super excited to award Vaughn this award because he just so happens to be one of my favorite Capricorns, outside of myself, and a dear friend of mine. So Vaughn, it's from the heart. I want to congratulate you on the 2020 Early Careers Healthcare Executive Award, which is very well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction, Val, and to Kyle. Thank you all for the award. I'm actually, I've been involved with Kyle and ACHE for a number of years, going all the way back to graduating from undergrad, University of Wisconsin, and entering the summer enrichment program, part of the IFB-AHA, as before I went to University of Michigan for grad school. And so from there, it's been such a privilege to be part of this great organization. And it's so important, you know, we're in a field in which we're committed to serving and supporting others in our teams. And for organizations like ACHE, CAHL chapter, NASI, NALI, for example, we need to support each other. And for me, it's been such a privilege coming up in the ranks to see things that I didn't even see in myself, see opportunities that I didn't know were attainable in a short amount of time. And call to action for us all is to continue to give back, continue to help others, and lift as we climb. And though it may seem exhausting during this time, right, to put the volunteer commitments on the shelf as you focused on your jobs and family and other things that are coming, especially in 2020, which has been a crazy year. The reality is mission critical to continue this work as much as the patient care that our great clinicians serve each and every day. And so I just want to say thank you. I'm actually on the East Coast now, so it's almost 10 o'clock, but I wouldn't trade this opportunity for the world. I see many names here that have been great mentors for me, and just want to continue the great work that we are here destined to do. So Val, thank you for the introduction. CAHL, ACHE, thank you for the acknowledgement and recognition, and appreciate you all. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Luis Fonseca. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Alameda Health System. I also have the privilege to serve as your region at large for District 5. And I have the privilege to present the Senior Careerist Award for one of our first honorees tonight. And before I do that, I want to once again say congratulations to you, Sachin, and to you, Vaughn. I've had the privilege to work with both of you on many occasions, and this award is really just a reflection of the amazing things that you've done, the impact you've had on our chapter, and what you do for everyone in this call and for all of our members across our entire region. So great work and congratulations again. So with that, our first 2020 Senior Careerist Healthcare Executive Award goes to Ms. Sylvia Lozano. To tell you a little bit about Sylvia, she's got certainly many years of experience. She is currently the Vice President of System Transformation and Reengineering for the Alameda Health System. I have to admit that when I will tell you a personal story, that when I first came and took the job here at Alameda Health System, she was my first poach. I took her from where we were at, and she has continued to do some phenomenal work. She's got many years of experience in developing programs that benefit healthcare professionals. Some of these programs are centered around cultural sensitivity programs, teamwork, communication training, change management, compassionate care programs, new nurse grad programs. Again, she's just done some phenomenal work throughout her career. Ms. Lozano is an engaging leader who empowers her staff and everyone she works with to promote a healing environment for all of our patients. She demonstrates zero tolerance for any abuse of power that compromises patients or others served, and works always to streamline processes in a way that yields the best outcomes for those being served. She can never get the lean out of her. Everything has to be streamlined every time we talk. But again, she operates with a high degree of integrity. She is an innovative thinker, a strategic thinker, a strong advocate for social justice. She is of the motto, patients first, and always at the center of everything we do. She is a phenomenal colleague. She is a great friend. And I am very, very privileged to give her this award tonight, share this award and present her tonight. And the last thing I will say is, Sylvia, not only has she makes the time for all of this work, she carries, I think it's a 3x5 card to fit all of the different letters past her name for all the different certifications that she's achieved throughout her career. Again, a student of our industry, a student of the profession, and she continues to do great work. So congratulations, Sylvia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Luis, and thank you to the RAC for this recognition. You know, as a product of a migrant farm working family, it is an honor to be nominated. That's one thing, but it is even more humbling to actually receive the award. When Baljit Sangha called me and sent me an email letting me know that I had received this award, I was actually propelled into the past when I received my first award in high school. I know it's hard for you to believe it was only a few years ago. I was given the award for Future Healthcare Leader and a $250 leadership scholarship by a local ambulance company. And at that time, when I was given that opportunity, I was also afforded the opportunity to work as a pharmacy clerk at the front desk, and at the time in a very small rural community. That was a very coveted position, I might add. I believed I had realized the achievement of a healthcare leader, and little did I know that there was much more out there and there was a much larger plan for me. And so there are so many people to thank, people who I see today on this call. And, you know, there have been mentors and role models who've inspired, who have taken the time to invest in me and supported me to be a transformational leader, and at times, as some of you who know me, a disruptive leader. But most importantly, I am thankful to my husband of 27 years, who's been my biggest support, my cheerleader along the way, who has selflessly given of himself and time so I can continue to work and fill my cup by serving the underserved, which is my passion. My focus is and will continue to be to ignite and inspire, which means paying it forward to others like me who dared to dream things that they thought they could not be. And I want to thank all of you for this opportunity, for the support, and this award means more to me than you'll ever know. Thank you so much, Luis and Baljit and the rest of the RAC for this.
All right, congratulations, Sylvia, and those before Sylvia. Hi, good morning or afternoon. Kieran Rizvi-Jaffrey here. I'm the Area Ops Executive for Sutter Bay Medical Foundation in the San Francisco and Marin area, and I'm just so proud of so many of you and fellow Sutter alums and colleagues. I have the esteemed pleasure of introducing Phil Twain. Philip, or Phil, really has just been a testament to seeing a journey of an inspirational leader in healthcare for many, many years. I had the pleasure of working in Sutter Health with Phil in previous years, but today Phil serves as a Senior Vice President for Clinical Services at Kaiser Permanente in Northern California. And prior to his role at Kaiser, he served in many leadership positions, both at Sutter Health, at Telcare Corporation, at University Health Services, iBeacon, Accenture, and he's got a tremendous track record of just being a thought leader in health strategy and business development, in clinical operations, in technology, and management consulting. So when you sort of look at this super well-rounded health career executive who's really giving back to the community, it's no surprise that right now during the pandemic, he served as on the incident command for Kaiser Permanente, overseeing operations linked to the continuum, skilled nursing facilities, home health, hospice, transport, pharmacy. He's been a regional commander in chief for infrastructure, all of the clinical technology, the IT, the facilities, the lab. And we just see that as a testament to his passion and service to really respond to those in need, and those that are the sickest of the sick, and many vulnerable populations. I have just been impressed by seeing the work that Phil has done over the years in focusing on the patients that are the elderly, the patients that transform and go between home care and hospice, the underserved, and even in his current role at KP, he is working to really help combat issues and crises dealing with the homeless population as the pandemic prevails in our communities. Phil is also an innovator and a technological pioneer. It's hard to believe, but even over a decade ago, to organizations like Sutter Health. Mobile platforms for EHR were a new concept and a novel one, and Phil was right there at the helm in helping us go where we are today. And Phil has also won an Innovator of the Year award, no surprise, by the College of Healthcare Information Management Executives. Phil really lives out the ACHE Code of Ethics, the spirit of this award, and the spirit of servant leadership in all that he does. Phil is also an active member of the Diversity and Inclusion Council, the ACHE Asian Healthcare Leaders Forum, and has served as a speaker at many meetings for CAHL and all of the events. So thank you, Phil, for all that you have done. Congratulations to receiving this award. It is well deserved.
Great. Thank you so much, Karen, for those kind words. You know, I would just echo congratulations to the other award winners, and thanks to the RAC for the acknowledgement. It's always nice to receive recognition from your peers and colleagues. And I'd kind of wrap it up by saying that the Regents Award is particularly meaningful coming from really our two rock star regents, Baljeet and Luis, who I've gotten to know over the past few years. They are role models for diversity and inclusion and for integrity. And so that means the award just means that much more. And Baljeet and Luis are superheroes too. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil, for those kind words. And again, congratulations to Sylvia, to Phil, to Vaughn, and to Sachin. So I have the honor now to present our final Regents Award recipient for the evening. And I am super jazzed to present this 2020 Senior Careerist Healthcare Executive Award to the Kelly B. Flannery. And so if this photo looks familiar, it's because during Carrie's slides, you may also recognize him as he was displayed for being part of ACHE, and I'll tell you a little bit why about that. But before, Kelly's day job. So Kelly is the Chief Planning Officer at the VA Sierra Pacific Network. Now what that means is, the Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, and in the Sierra Pacific Network, it includes 7 healthcare markets, so 10 VA medical centers, 57 VA outpatient clinics, and just incredible amount of geographic area covered. Also, just the VA, just the work they do in and of itself to serve our military veterans is so critical. Individuals that have served this country very proudly and really served the world in a variety of areas, that is just the work that they do and the population they serve, and that we all serve, but them in particular, is just so critical to the infrastructure of what our community, our nation stands for. So with that being his day job, Kelly leads a team of subject matter experts in developing the VA's strategic operational plan for this region. That includes utilizing lean concepts, identifying tactics, milestones, risks, risk mitigation, all that, but all the while ensuring it sticks to what the VA stands for. Now, Kelly's also been part of the incident management team for COVID-19, similar to what you've heard from some of our leaders tonight. Now, in addition to performing and participating in those IMT meetings, he developed a post-COVID-19 long-term strategy monitoring plan for his network's strategic planning committee that will really align future strategic planning activities with pandemic considerations. Also, the IMT is monitoring the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as all the racial unrest events that are occurring during this pandemic time. Now, Kelly's also been an active member of CAHL's Diversity and Inclusion Committee for several years. He's been fully engaged in meetings, completing all the tasks, and he really started off and served as a panelist for our inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Committee Jedi session. So really, Kelly has been part of that role, and he channels it into his role as a member of the ACHE LGBTQ committee and serves on the forum's liaison, serves as the forum's liaison to CAHL. Now, he also has the distinction of being the 2019 Scholar of the American College of Healthcare Executives Thomas C. Dolan Executive Diversity Program. Now, as part of that program, Kelly wrote an article for the LGBTQ Forum newsletter, which coincided with the June 2019 Pride events. And he shared his journey as a gay healthcare professional and a member of the LGBTQ Forum. Now, additionally, at a previous VA Sierra Pacific Network meeting, that was held in December of last year, Kelly openly identified himself as a member of the LGBTQ community, and he spoke about the benefits of the Dolan Executive Diversity Program. Diversity inclusion is now being currently incorporated into the network's strategic operational plan. So not only is he modeling the vision and modeling the work that he's charged to do, he's also challenging it to really the world we live in, and making sure that we are not, for lack of a better word, ignorant of what's happening out there. And so in addition to that, admirable and the courage that he shows to really marry up his personal and professional lives, he also maintains a positive social presence on social media. And so social media, as you know, is full of negativity. And so with Kelly not losing sight of this, he's often shared his constructive personal and professional stories, which now more than ever during these turbulent times has been really helpful and resonates with a lot of folks. Kelly was also a guest speaker for the Advancement Information Session at the ACHG Congress in 2017. And finally, as the Chief Planning Officer for the network at the VA, Kelly also mentors trainees in the principles of strategic planning, operations, and also includes these trainees and his committees as part of his planning work. So all in all, Kelly's just been modeling in the earlier slide, the criteria of modeling diversity inclusion, modeling an alignment with the code of ethics, really inspiring and cultivating and nurturing the next generation of leaders. I am incredibly humbled and incredibly appreciative to be able to present Kelly with the award. And with that, I would like to invite Kelly to the virtual podium. Again, Kelly, congratulations on behalf of the Regents Advisory Council.
Well, can you hear me, Baljeet and everyone else?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
All right, good. Well, thank you, Baljeet and the RAC, for this acknowledgement. I have to say I'm very humbled and honored at this recognition, and I really, really appreciate it. I've been working from home for the better part of the pandemic that our entire network office has. So I want to thank you for giving me an excuse to remember where I put my ties and how to tie one. But beside that, in all honesty, this recognition really means a lot to me. I graduated from high school in 1984, and beside the super cool music of the 80s that probably some of you will acknowledge, there was also a lot going on in the world and in healthcare. And you know that I'm referring to HIV and AIDS. And knowing that I was gay, I certainly was very careful about sharing my life with other people, especially at work. For the better part of my early years in my career, and I've been in healthcare since my early 20s, so it's been the bulk of my working life as an adult. I didn't open up about who I was personally. I just kept it really to myself because I feared discrimination and the assumed stigma that, oh, well, because he's gay, he's got to have HIV. So I just didn't deal with that. And, you know, a lot has changed over the past 30 years. You know, in the last 10 years, I've kind of been on this trajectory. I completed my master's degree, and I sat for the Board of Governors exam and passed it on the first try. So I got my fellowship status. And as Baljeet so nicely summarized, last year I had the distinction of being a Dolan Scholar. I can say that I've found my Jedi voice in the later years, my golden years of my career, I guess. And I've realized that, you know, although the younger generation of the LGBTQ community certainly comes out comfortably much younger these days, but I wanted to be able to share my story and be out and let others know that you don't have to be in the closet and lead a double life, that, you know, you can be open and be yourself in the wonderful healthcare profession that we're all a part of. And so for me, this distinction of this award really hits hits home with me. And I, again, thank everybody so much. And so I look forward to us being in person someday soon. I really hope that that happens because I miss the camaraderie of the face-to-face, but I am at home. I'm off the clock. And so I will say to everybody, cheers. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. And with that, I will present it back to Kim Brown-Sam to take us the rest of the way. And one thing I forgot to mention, JEDI, for those of you who are just hearing that term for the first time, that is our term that we use for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So again, with that, Kim, back to you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the Regents Awards winner and Kelly Flannery, class of '84 as well. So we are kindred spirits there. And yes, I did love the music of the 80s too. It's frequently on in my house. So we are at our time limit, right? We were supposed to be done at 7, but we don't want to take away from the other recipients. And so we're going to move forward and hope that you all hang in there with us. We're going to jump now into the President's Recognition Awards, the Scholarship Awards. Go back one slide, please. So I'm making sure I acknowledge everyone, ACHE Service Awards and Volunteer of the Year. So moving right along, our first award is the President's Recognition Awards. So our first recipient is Miss Navi Atwal. Big round of applause for Navi. Woo! I have to put that out there. So Navi is a project manager within Kaiser Permanente and OneLink and Finance Technology. She's a current graduate student at NYU and graduated from CSU Chico with a double major in Health Services Administration and Spanish Language Studies. Navi's a member of the American College of Healthcare Executives, and in her spare time, she enjoys gardening, taking on DIY projects, and spending time outdoors with her family and friends. And my question is, have you really had time to do any of that? Because the reason that Navi is winning this award is because she, at the beginning of the 2020 CAHL year, agreed to be the chair for our annual awards committee and help us organize our inaugural 2-day CAHL Congress. So she worked diligently at that. We're ready to pull the trigger until the end of June when we realized that Congress was not going to happen face-to-face. And we had to pivot and refashion everything in a virtual format. And then on top of that, ACHE then came out with their virtual format, which caused us to have to pivot and refashion it yet again. Navi has been diligent, on point, and has unfailingly delivered a higher quality event than we could have ever imagined. And for that dynamic flexibility and that adaptability that is so key in leadership today, Navi, we present you with the President's Award.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Baljeet. Boy, what a year 2020 has been, and amongst all things that are going kind of crazy in this world, CAHL Congress just kind of threw me in for the loop, but it's really been a pocket of joy for me. All of the sessions that you may have attended in the past, and of course tonight, has been a group effort, and we could not have done all of this without the folks who are working tirelessly behind the scenes and have made this work really joyous for me. So I want to take a moment to recognize these folks. First up, I want to congratulate Sachin and recognize Sachin for being the calm in the storm. He has been just the most zen and most zen person in all of this chaos. And congratulations, Sachin, well deserved. Next up, I want to recognize Sarah for sharing her wealth of knowledge and expertise with us. She got us all camera ready tonight, so thank you for that. Of course, Shalisha for being our marketing guru, Shauna for being our cheerleader, Corinne for being our master behind all things CEUs, Amy for keeping us right on track, although we're a little behind today, Satnam with being our trusted advisor, Nikhil for being my thought partner, and Tamara for stepping in and helping us every step of the way. Last but not least, I want to, of course, recognize our entire board for supporting and guiding the group throughout the year and really, you know, believing in us. Before I turn it over, I want to take a quick moment to recognize two special folks that I saw joining earlier. First up, I want to recognize Rick. I know he's been recognized in the chat quite a bit tonight, but I wanted to do a special recognition of Rick, who introduced me to CAHL as an undergrad. And of course, Eric Berry, who showed me the ropes and showed me how to serve as a leader. So thank you to both of you, and thank you to my entire team and to the CAHL board. This is truly an honor. Thank you.
Beautiful. Congratulations again, Navi. Absolutely amazing. Next, our next President's Award. I am incredibly honored and have been humbled to serve under him. Goes to our immediate past president, Mr. Andrew Pete. Round of applause for Andrew. That was the quickest applause ever. So Andrew has a very long history of accomplishments. He is currently serving as the service line operations lead for orthopedics, bariatric surgery, general surgery, gastroenterology, neuroscience, robotics, and stroke service lines at Sutter Health at their flagship hospital in Sacramento. He is a board certified fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives, an international, which is of course our International Professional Society. He is the immediate past president, which we just mentioned. And he's also been past board chair for the Arthritis Foundation of Northern California. He earned his master's degree in health services administration from George Washington University, his undergraduate in public relations from Brigham Young University, and he spends much of his time as possible outside of creating adventures for his 3 boys and 1 girl. Just being a major support for leaders throughout California. And I have to tell you that Andrew is one of the most humble and well-spoken individuals that I have come across in a very long time. I was incredibly humbled and honored to serve as his president-elect, and he really prepared me well to step into this role. No one could have predicted COVID, but that's beside the point. So with that, I want to turn the stage over to Andrew and congratulate him once again on his achievement.
All right. Thanks so much, Kim. What a what a nice surprise and very kind words. Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, I want to recognize and thank all the other awardees. As you can see, I'm surrounded by healthcare giants and healthcare heroes. So it's been an absolute pleasure to serve alongside each of you on the CAHL board for the past 8 years. It's been such a great journey. And obviously, as you can see tonight, Kim, the chapter is in great hands with you and Darielle leading. You guys have done such a fantastic job with this event. And I'm so glad I'm not the president this year during this pandemic. So you definitely were the right leader this year to continue to carry us through and help us navigate these challenging times. So thank you, Kim, for your leadership. Thank you, Darielle, for your leadership as well. Excited to see what you both are going to do and will continue to do. Thanks again for the recognition. I'm humbled and thankful to be able to serve with all of you.
Thank you, Andrew. So congratulations to the President Award winners. We're now going to jump into our Scholarship Award winner. And the criteria for the scholarship criteria is that the selection is based on achievement in the following areas: promoting high ethical standards and conduct, leadership potential, strength of purpose and determination in pursuit of goals, academic merit, evidence of academic background that is strong and relevant to healthcare, and serving the community, advancing the mission of ACHE. So this year we are honored to present the award to Tu Nguyen. She is our HEN Scholarship Award winner. She currently works at Stanford Healthcare as a Director of Strategic Projects at the Blood Center. She previously worked for Stanford Health as a Project Portfolio Manager for the Blood Center and a Project Manager of the new Stanford Hospital Activation and Performance Improvement Excellence. She's on the Board of Directors for Sponsorship and Partnerships at the Women Healthcare Executive of Northern California and supports CAHL on the sponsorship and member outreach and volunteer recognition committees. Tu previously received her bachelor's degree in biology at UCLA and a master's in public administration and health services administration at the University of San Francisco.
Hi everyone, I'm Tu Nguyen. I recently graduated from the University of San Francisco with a Master's of Public Administration and Health Services Administration. I'm also currently the Director of Strategic Projects for the Stanford Blood Center within Stanford Healthcare. And I also belong to the California Association of Healthcare Leaders, and I'm on the board of WIC, Women Healthcare Executives. Here for other nonprofit organizations and community volunteer groups, and really appreciate everything that nonprofit organizations do for their members, for their community, and really helping those in need. I really enjoyed volunteering with CAHL and having the opportunity to work with really great healthcare leaders, which is why I am very grateful and very honored to receive this Graduate Scholarship Award from CAHL. And I wanted to thank CAHL, the board, the judges, the members, the volunteers, really everyone I've interacted with through CAHL has taught me a lot, so I really appreciate it. I'm also really excited that I'm finally done with school and really eager to apply the healthcare knowledge I've gained in grad school and through work experience to be a better leader to help make a bigger difference in the healthcare field. So thank you so much. This means a lot, and I'll definitely make it count and make sure that I pay it forward in helping others. So thank you so much.
Congratulations again to wonderful. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Darielle, who's going to take us home with our service awards and volunteer of the year.
Thank you, Kim. And in the interest of wanting to get everybody to their beverage of choice, since at least I didn't bring mine, I'm just going to cruise right through this. I do want to point out the exemplary, can't even get the word out, exemplary service award. This is an award that requires a large number of points. And for any of you who have attempted to get points, it can be quite daunting at times. For myself, because I'm on the service award list as well, it's probably taken 6-7 years just to get like 40 points. So to gain, the number of points to achieve this award is just absolutely impressive. Next slide. So this year it goes to Michael O'Connell. Thank you, Michael. He is the Senior VP of Operations at Stanford Healthcare, one of my partners, and University Healthcare Alliance. So round of applause. Next slide. Distinguished service is 75 points or more. So again, it takes a number of years to achieve that number of points. And we have 2 this year. Next slide. Richard Buchler, President for Gen State Dam Digital Asset Management and Advisor for Gen State Management Consulting. Congratulations. Next slide. And Robert Rahal, Veterans Experience Officer. Thank you for all you do for our veterans at the VA Central California Healthcare System. Applause. Yeah. And service awards. So we have about 14. So we're gonna move through these pretty quickly. Next slide. David Akinsaya, Kimberly Belcher-Jones, Luis Fonseca. Next slide. Robert Hutchinson, Mark Knight, and Jason Lee. Next slide. Jeff Logan, Dev Mahavadevan. Hope I didn't hack that too bad. Jillian Springer. Next slide. Melanie Tute, Ishwara Venkataraman. I actually practiced these, believe it or not. Kenneth West II. Next slide. Edward Schroeder. Next slide. So round of applause. All these individuals have achieved more than 30 points cumulative over a lifetime of being members within our organization. Thank you so much for all you do and the service that you provide. That makes us a great organization. So Volunteer of the Year, we have 2, I believe. 3. We have 3. So Bezawit Edmasu, healthcare recruiter at Maximum Healthcare Service. Besa currently works at Maxim as a healthcare recruiter, facilitating the hiring process, providing clients with staffing solutions. Previously, hold on. Previously, she was a barista trainer at Starbucks. Love that. Career management, career intern, and social media manager at the University of the Pacific, as well as a student advisor at New Student and Family Programs. Besa previously received her bachelor's degree in business administration, focusing on HR management and business law at the University of the Pacific. So congratulations, Besa. Applause. Next slide. Amal Amini, Director of Security, Parking, and Transportation at Alameda Health System. Amal is an MHA, has an MHA, and currently works at the Alameda Health as Director of Security, Parking, Transportation, and is a part of ACHE's Member Diversity and Inclusion Committee to close the leadership gaps in healthcare management. Previously, he was a data analyst at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital in Oakland and a loan administration manager at Wells Fargo for over 7 years. Amal earned his master's degree in healthcare administration at the California State University, East Bay, and his undergraduate degree in health science at healthcare administration management at San Jose State University. So congratulations to Amal. Next slide. Volunteer of the Year, Fayola Edwards Ohiva. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Founder and CEO at Recharged MD, addressing physician burnout through peer group coaching and organizational change. As the founder, Dr. Fayola Edward Ohiva is a board certified internist and clinical assistant professor at UCSF. Dr. Edwards Ohiva cared for patients and taught internal medicine residents, and during her time as a practicing physician, she also experienced the deep gratification and frustration of clinical practice. I work with a number of doctors. I completely understand that. She overcame these struggles of burnout with the tools and services she turned into Recharge MD. Dr. Edwards Ohiva has developed comprehensive workshops and team building exercises to improve communication among physicians and to facilitate dialogue with senior leadership. She aims to change the national discourse around physician burnout to focus on system level changes in our current healthcare climate. And through Recharged MD, her mission is to positively impact the healthcare system and improve the practice of medicine. Dr. Edwards Ohiva is a member of the American College of Healthcare Executives, the National Association of Health Services Executives, and serves as the Clinical Leaders Committee for the California Association of Healthcare Leaders. She graduated from Harvard College with honors, attended Yale Medical School, and completed her internal medicine residency training at UCSF. So congratulations And congratulations to all these volunteers. Our organization, to Kim's point earlier, could not do what it does without the help of these volunteers and the dedication and the time and effort that they put into the work that's accomplished. So thank you. I'm going to ask that these recipients, real quick, if they're still on, if they want to give a word prior to closing out our event here.
Yes, this is David. If I could go first. I am deeply honored by this award tonight. I never thought I could achieve 10 points, let alone having the 30. So, and I greatly appreciate all the support that I get from everyone. I mean, I've received diverse mentoring, guidance from almost all the well-rounded executives in ACHE, and I continue to learn and get better every day at what we do. I mean, I just have passion for healthcare, helping other people succeed and all that, and it keeps me going. And when I get asked, just like Kim was talking about Navi, how do you find time to do everything that you do? When I share, I play multiple instruments. I play drums, keyboard, I sing, I play guitar, I volunteer. I actually also co-chair programs committee for hymns, and with COVID, recently got promoted at Alameda Health System and oversee the networking and telecom, that took my hours, like almost doubled it. And I look at myself too, and I don't think I could have made it by myself without the encouragement that I get from mentors that I reach out to, some very often, some once in a while, to just get more from them and to keep me going. And I see what everybody does in ACHE, especially accomplished leaders paying forward. I hope to get to that level one day and be able also to pay all the help that I've been getting and pay it also forward to the next generation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, David.
Every time I share everything about ACHE, people just want to abandon the organization that they are and want to come because I get comments that we have a well-rounded program to support the success of every member. Thank you.
Thank you, David. If there are...
It's okay. I just want to say super quick thank you if it's possible. Yeah, thank you. Really pleasant surprise. I would say the one thing that really has stood out for me about CAHL is just how welcoming everyone has been. Relatively new, been in the organization for about 2 years, but I heard about it, went to a networking event back in 2018, was really nervous, didn't know anyone, and within minutes, someone came and greeted me very warmly and introduced me to many members, and it's just kind of been that way the whole time I've been involved. So again, I just want to say thank you, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Fayola, for all you've been doing for us. Really appreciate it. Last call for any final comments. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Baljit for our closing remarks.
Thanks, Darielle. So again, congratulations to everyone. It is incredible just to hear from everyone and hear a little bit of everyone's stories. Obviously, 2 hours is not enough time, but again, thank you all for celebrating everyone. One of the things that, a few reminders here, I think we have is oh, sorry, I hear the music, but a few reminders. We information that's already in your email. You have that. The next thing is that there's a Learning for Leaders event here with Delvecchio Family on October 1st. So make sure you please sign up if you're interested. And another final thank you to our sponsors as well. One thing that we didn't mention tonight was that we had another recognition for 2019, which was the Region at Large Award for Diversity and Inclusion at a chapter level. So that meant that CAHL was recognized across all of District 5. So District 5 are 13 of the westernmost states. So we recognized as across those 13 states that CAHL as the chapter provide an exceptional amount of work, activity, education, and advancement around diversity and inclusion. So that being said, just a couple words here to close us out. Thank you all for attending tonight. You can spend your time in many, many different ways, but you chose to spend it here with us. And it's not hard to end on a high note, riding the coattails of all the amazing speakers and all the award recipients tonight. I am beyond thankful and indebted and appreciative to all you all who organized the event tonight and the virtual events before it and the ones that are going to come after it in the next rest of the year. I do look forward to this event for many reasons, because I'm pretty energized and revitalized by just the work that we do, that you do, and it is always intended to be a celebration tonight. So this year of 2020, when it was supposed to be the year where things came into clarity, right? 2020 was supposed to be the year where everything was going to be in stark contrast to everything else. We truly now see things, and we see that it's remembered for good. So we needed some wins, we need some more. It's been a very tough year, and this has shaken us really to our core. Not all of us have made it through. We've seen some leaders step down from roles. We've seen some of them that in the face of harsh criticism for when they're trying to do what's right, when they're trying to follow data. Others have stepped down because, well, you can't do this work without having a break. And Carrie mentioned that earlier. Not one of us has emerged from this year unscathed. Our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls have all been pierced, and in some cases impaled even, by the murder of Black lives in our country, by a pandemic that has decimated communities, especially those of color, by climate change, by wildfires, by lack of clean air. So this event is a reminder of the balance that we all bring to the realism of what's happening, but with that touch of idealism to make it better. So the road ahead is long. It will be hard, but it's important to celebrate that we're traveling it together like we have tonight, because those celebrations and these celebrations represent milestones, and those milestones represent progress. So key reminders as we wrap up here: get out there and vote, like Kim said. Take care of yourselves first and foremost. That's the only way you can take care of your families, your friends, and your communities. Sometimes the difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. So remember that. You guys all bring a great attitude every day. Finally, commit to excellence about your work, greatness in cultivating others, boldness and courage to act, convictions to do what's right, and equity and inclusion for all. So on this night of healthcare heroes, heroes in all of us, because we all have the traits of heroes. We rage at injustice. We stand tall in the face of corrupt systems and other issues that we want to face head on. We help these broken spirits as they search alleys for healthcare and rejuvenation, and we bring balance to the world. And so we are finding hope in some dark places here, and we're stronger when we're united. So thank you for that reminder tonight. We embody this. We're all heroes. And with that, good night, everyone. Be safe, and see you all soon.